All right, DDTG, Christmas week, Hanukkah week, both week. Brought to you, and yes, last time I checked, Rumble is up 40% pre-bell. We're going to have Chris on, CEO of Rumble. He's going to be on at 9:35. 9:35, talk about his deal with Tether. That's why I have the headphones ready to hear him. This is brought to you by Kraken, DDTG, presented by Kraken. By the way, DDTG, sneaky becoming the place where people go to talk shop. We got Chris Pavlovski. I don't want to get I always the worst of names. On at 9:35. So we're cooking. We're cooking with gas here. Brought to you by Kraken. DDTG presented by Kraken, official crypto exchange, Barstool Sports. These guys are my go-to. Kraken's where all my crypto is. I bought, not only did I buy my Bitcoin, yes, I did buy XRP with Kraken as well. They sell it. So that's where I hold my Bitcoin and Kraken. I'm still a Bitcoin guy. Bitcoin is my number one. Let's get into it. Bull run, bear run. They're there. They've been doing it 13 years. I know their track record on security impeccable. Perfectly art of sale, safe and simple access to crypto. Rumble, I think we'll talk. They made a big Bitcoin investment. We'll ask Chris about that. Not just another plain Jane crypto site. They get tons of powerful trading tools to play with. Super fast platform to get most of it is bang. I'm like, hey, I want 1.3 milli of XRP. Bang, did it on Kraken. Tons of educational resources so you can nerd the hell out. They got a 24/7, 365 support team full of people that you know. 13 million other crypto traders have already joined Kraken. That's 13 million. I think you should be next. I mean, I give Chris credit, right? It's up 40%. If I was in his shoes, I wouldn't be doing any live shows around the bell. I'd be doing the Lambada. That's what I would be doing, up 40%. Let's give him. Maybe we'll play should we play the Lambada for him when he comes on here? I wasn't even going to do a show today because it's a slow week. It's holiday week. These next 2 weeks, slowest weeks of the year. Ty Sup. No place for the Rumble sucks, Ty Sup. 2 minutes till bell. I don't know what this headline is. Eagles defense continues to soar. Carter Smith lead the charge. They lost. So I wasn't overly familiar with Tether. I've obviously done some research because I'm not going to have a guest on the show and have my pants down by my ankles. So they're a crypto company. They got a stable coin, 10 billion profits, trying to diversify. They like how it's not media controlled. 770 investment million. Ties up. Too many ads. Can't stream worth shit. Lost thousands in stock. What do we tell them here at DDTG? What do we tell people? Stocks only go up. You lost because you sold. Things up 40% today. Yeah, JD 2006. What type of growth initiatives the fund will be used for? Sure. I'm gonna write that down for you. I'm gonna write that down for you. What type of funds will growth be used for? 1 minute till the bell. I can tell you, I've had a hell of a time with Pete and Peaches. Just Pete loves peeing everywhere. All right, ding, ding, ding. See what we got here. Rumble up 38%. Right now they are trading at 992. Not bad. Not bad at all. Tesla's up. Axon up a little bit. Again, overall slow week, I would think. By the way, everyone for surviving Barstool, you have a 2-week gap here. Catch up. If you haven't watched Surviving Barstools, now is the time. Sit around with your family. We're through, 9 episodes? It's a great show. A lot more coming. We're heating up, so get around the campfire. Catch up on Surviving Barstool. Is Bitcoin down? I thought Bitcoin was up a little bit today. Did it just drop? All the Bitcoin stocks are down. Huh. Yeah, I mean, that guy blazing hash rate. You can't complain about ads when you don't buy the thing and then you get no ads. Ty Sup is a meanie. Hey, Ty Sup, you're a meanie pants. What that is either. Who do I have in the next round playoff game? Listen, I got this playoff thing all the way. I think Ohio's going to win the whole fucking thing. I said that from the beginning. They don't have to play Michigan. They don't have to poop down their pants and play Michigan. I saw Axon joins the NASDAQ. It went down when it did it. But yeah, Axon's my number one. Axon's my most held stock. It's been a monster. It's over 100%, I think. So we're going to have Chris Pavlovski on here. Talk about Rumble. Talk about the Tether investment. They are currently up 40% based on the news. It closed or went public, I should say, after the bell on Friday. Dave, would you buy an immigration stock like GEO to make boatloads of money and not because of ethics? Dave does not understand the question. If I can buy a stock to make money, I would like to do so. I don't know how that's an ethical question. All right, Chris should be joining any second here. Glad to see it, Tammy, rocking the Miss Peaches and Pete the Beagle sweater. I'm telling you, Pete doesn't even let me brush my teeth before he takes a leak. I don't know how to try. I've seen everything, how to train dogs. It's like you can't yell at them because then they get nervous. Go through the same types of activities, same time. I take him out. I cheer him on when he takes a pee. He don't care. He'll pee anytime, anywhere. He's like Billy the Kid. Just woo, pee. This is our Monday. I'm taking care of business. All right, let's go. It's time for Chris to join the chat here. All right, I think we got him. I see him joining right now. Chris,
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me good?
I can hear you crystal clear. Congratulations. I'm talking to a much richer man right now, I think.
You talk. I
Stock is
guess
up
so.
40% right now. So tell us about the deal. Tether, I did the research a little bit on it. Crypto company, right, that made their fortune with stable coin, but wants to get into other areas. But you know way more. So give us the background, everything that's going on here.
Yeah. So Tether took a 700. They're making a $775 million strategic investment into Rumble. For us, this is incredible because we haven't had like a strategic partner such as a company like Tether come into Rumble. So it really is exciting for us in many different ways. They approached us about a month ago, less
That
than a month
fast?
ago. Yeah, it was pretty quick. Yeah, no, it was very fast. And they expressed that they wanted to buy as much of Rumble as they could. Every insider was given the right to sell as much as they wanted, and 70 million shares is the most I could find. So to put it simply, they're helping clean up the cap table in a major way. And then there's going to be a primary component of about $250 million that can help us spur further growth, build the cloud, further bring in more content creators to the platform, things of that nature. So it's a phenomenal opportunity that we had here. Something that I think has been it's really, if you don't know who Tether is and what they do, it's something that really matches the ethos of Rumble in a major way. When you look at Tether, they are a company. If you're in India or if you're in Argentina and you want access to a stable currency, you want US dollars, and it's very difficult to get. You're probably familiar with this in Argentina with the peso, in different countries around the world. A lot of these people use USDT. And what makes that so amazing for America and the ethos that Rumble has is they're essentially they're exporting American values, because every single time someone buys a USDT, they're actually buying US treasuries. They're buying our debt. So in a major way, that's exporting America in a major way across the world, the US dollar, rather than the currencies that are being used elsewhere in other countries. So not only are they spreading American values, but these guys, when I met them in person, they were the most what's the word, when it comes to free speech and decentralization, they are exactly like I am. They're no different. So it really puts the rubber stamp on what we're doing, and it's really synergistic in a way that I don't think there's another company out there that would have that same kind of philosophy when it comes to freedom and free speech that Tether would have, or any crypto company. Crypto is so similar to what we do at Rumble in terms of philosophy and ethos that it was the perfect marriage for us.
So, which is to you guys recently, I think it was within the month. When did you purchase and put the Bitcoin on your ledger?
So we announced that we're going to do a strategic Bitcoin reserve strategy. So that was just a board approval to get us to get going and start putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So, we're going through the process of working with different companies to go do that. And then sometime in Q1, we'll give an update on where that is. But the announcement that we did, I think it was about a month ago as well, was to set up the strategic reserves on Bitcoin. So, obviously I'm a huge believer in BTC, huge believer in the crypto community. I think integrating, crypto into Rumble in the sense of like payments and making it really easy for people to tip, making it very easy for creators to choose whether they want US dollars, whether they want Tether, whether they want BTC. You really streamlining that process for the community on Rumble is something that is really exciting for me. And to add, like, Tether is doing all kinds of different things, all kinds of different investments. They're getting into AI. They're obviously, huge users of cloud. They're huge users. They have a lot of different aspects to what they do. And what I'm really excited about with Tether is that it's not going to just be, or they're not just taking a huge stake in Rumble and becoming a huge shareholder in Rumble, but they're also going to be a strategic partner where they're going to, you know, help us with the advertising, help us with the cloud business, help us with the crypto payment solutions business. Like, we now have a partner that has like a lot of experience in these things, and someone that can help drive the business forward in a major way on those 3 different categories. And, you know, we put that in our release as well. I think maybe that's a little bit missed when you see $775 million at the top. But one of the things that makes this really, really unique is that they're going to be really helping be a driving force in helping this business going into 2025.
So you're anticipating like pretty close communication with them ongoing, not just money and poof?
Yeah, exactly. It's a strategic partnership. We want to work with them. We want to work with them on building these payment solutions online for creators. We want to work with them on how we can help them on the cloud side. Like, we really want to work with them on all various different things, and they're very open to doing that. So that's what makes it a lot better. It's not like a passive shareholder like a Vanguard or BlackRock buying your shares. We're talking about a real strategic investor that's coming in here, buying a gigantic stake in this company, and is going to care tremendously and really help, put a stake in the ground for free speech and freedom and decentralization around Rumble. It's like the first marriage of like crypto and platform that we've ever seen on the internet. This hasn't happened.
So is it you've already mentioned a bunch of things, like three things basically I've heard you say. Is that top line the money? Is that where it's going? Like, did I read it right? That's like a 250 to like investment into the cut of the money to like really forge ahead new stuff.
Yeah, so there's $250 million to help growth initiatives, and that that can mean strategic acquisitions. That can mean expanding our cloud. It can mean a whole bunch of different things. But most specifically, I would say expansion of cloud and strategic acquisitions are something that are very interesting to us. And then the other $525 million is to purchase shares from insiders and the public, and the public has the option to participate as well. So it's basically 2 different components.
How important would you say to Rumble was the Trump election?
Massive. Absolutely.
Like, were
massive.
you just hanging as the election results were coming in? Like,
well, yeah, in a way it got scarier and scarier as you got to the election, because you start thinking about what the rest of the world is doing. Like, if you look at what UK was doing, you look at the direction that Canada's going, you saw what France already did to us, you saw what Brazil already did to us, what Russia's done to us. Like, he had to win in order to preserve freedom of expression and free speech. I think the global censorship complex that's happening around the world was becoming so pervasive, was becoming so large that he had to win. And there was no other way about it in terms of expanding globally. Here in the United States, we had a Supreme Court, so I wasn't scared about the US. I was very scared, though, with respect to what happens globally, because if he's not in power, he's not pushing free speech around the world, and he's not exporting these American values around the world, that really limits Rumble's capacity to go global. And with him winning, now with this partnership with Tether, which is extremely large globally, it really kind of opens up a whole new world to Rumble on the global side. He won. Now we have Tether, we have the extension out, and now we can really attack this business globally in different countries and expand much further than we are just the United States. When you look at our MAUs, it's, a lot of people like to say, hey, YouTube has 2 billion users on their platform. Rumble only has 67 million users, but that's because Rumble's not big outside of the United States and Canada. The majority of our users are in the US. Well over 40 million are in the US and Canada. And when you compare that to like YouTube, which only has like 200 million, 230 million in the US, we're pretty big compared to YouTube when you really stack up the users in the United States. But when it comes globally, we don't really have a foothold. And this allows us now to really look outside the United States and expand, because free speech never existed anywhere else but the United States. And I think that's going to change, and it's going to change pretty rapidly. You're seeing a lot of change in Canada already. looks like Trudeau could be out by the next couple of months. He could resign, or there could be a no confidence vote. So things are going to change pretty rapidly around the world. It's happening, and Trump is responsible for that. He's definitely given the he's definitely enabled all this to happen, and obviously that's huge. It was huge for Rumble. It couldn't have been bigger.
I think the most amazing thing of this whole conversation for me is that you said this took 1 month. I can't get an ad deal that's pretty straightforward, the paperwork done in a month, and you get a $750 million deal, paperwork done in a month. Your lawyers must be the greatest lawyers in the history of lawyers, along with theirs. 1 month for this deal? Insane. That's insane.
It was definitely quick. It was they're really good guys, really easy to work with. Obviously, we worked around the clock all night long. It was a grind, but it's something we thought was really advantageous to both entities here, and I couldn't be happier. I think this really gives Rumble a rocket pack unlike we've ever had. It also takes us out of we're not just politics anymore in a major way. I remember when you first came on a Rumble,
Yep.
That was the discussion we had, is Rumble isn't just politics. They're trying to do more than politics. And I think now that the election's passed us, we've added some gamers. Gaming's becoming quite big on Rumble now. And obviously the crypto community is very, very interested in what we're doing. I think this really kind of brands us differently and broadens us in a way that we haven't seen before as a company. So it's quite the inflection point for us in many different ways. But going into 2025, I couldn't be more excited to have this and be on this footing going into the next year. It's I think a lot of people were surprised when they saw it, but it was something that I've actually personally been very close to in the crypto community, and felt like there was a real synergy there, and it kind of manifested itself now that we're here.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense when you think about it, the no regulation, the ethos of the two companies. So appreciate you coming on. Congratulations. Huge news. Going to have a good holiday for you. So I'm sure you got a busy day today, but I appreciate you coming on here first.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. See you later, Chris.
All right, take care.
He's going to have a great Christmas. He's going to have a great Christmas. Up 50% right now. 5-0. I think he got the DDTG 10% bump. People like him say it's right. It makes perfect sense. The ethos, crypto, Rumble, non-regulation. Say what you think. Don't let the government control it. All makes sense. Man. Maybe Tether should buy Barstool for like a quadrillion. I'll sell. You sell. If you want to buy us for a quadrillion, I still would have to give Penn half that quadrillion, but I'll take a half a quadrillion. Tether wants to give me half a quadrillion. In. All right. This is probably the last one for the week. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Go watch Surviving Barstool. Catch up. Enjoy the holidays, everybody.